Alrighty YouTube, welcome back to Rat10 and a now completely disassembled engine bay. We left off last video of trying to get Rat10 tuned and we actually did make some progress. It was running and idling better than it ever has. But right at the end of the video, it was starting to do some really weird stuff where the idle was coming up for no reason without any computer demand for it. Tore it all apart to see if there were any kind of vacuum leaks, anything strange going on. Maybe one of the valves was stuck. Nothing. We discovered absolutely no physical problems with this engine. So was it a waste of time to take it all apart? Maybe. I needed to reseal the valve cover anyways. It was leaking. And I guess it's just good to know that everything I installed was sealed, even though I haven't put any boost or real heat into it yet. I need to start slapping this all back together so that we can start doing some more tuning to it. And that's exactly where we're gonna start. Also, please let me know your honest opinion of the tuning videos, because they aren't the easiest thing in the world to edit. Especially like showing the laptop, showing what we're doing. There's so much happening that I can't talk about while it's happening. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Cleaning silicone has got to be my least favorite pastime. Good thing is I don't really have to clean up much silicone off of the manifold because it all stayed on the intake. And that's reassurance that it was sealing actually pretty well. You can see, however, that my sizing of my intake runners is a little bit too small, so this is gonna need an upgrade in the future. Whee! Hopefully all the tuning stuff in the last video wasn't too much for you guys to take in. Ugh, what idiot designed this intake? Okay, everything is tight-ish. I'll probably give that half an hour and come back and torque it fully. Probably looks crazy, but I can guarantee you there's not much on here. Okay, it's been about half an hour. I'm going to torque down my intake. And then the valve cover again. I got to clean up the old glue from here. Give the gasket just a quick clean as well. And then I'm going to re-glue the gasket to the valve cover because I don't want it slipping off. Valve cover's on. Gonna let that silicone set up for just a little bit. Okay, it is the next day. The intake is on and all sealed. The throttle body's on and all sealed. All the sensors are in. We switched to a different idle air that came out of hopefully a known good throttle body. And we switched to a different throttle position sensor. This one is adjustable, whereas the other one was fixed. And in our laptop, we noticed that the TPS, the old one, was reading 0.67 volts, and it was coming out at what, 9% throttle?
Something like that. It wasn't zero.
So with the adjustable one, we set it to 0.25 and it's now reading 0% throttle. Whether or not that's going to make a noticeable difference, we'll find out. Currently, I have the timing wire for the distributor disconnected, and we are going to verify that base timing is set where it's supposed to be. It shouldn't have moved. It's absolutely atrocious to see, but it's like straight through here, conveniently with the coolant hose in the way. Go ahead. We have 4 degrees. I could have sworn it was 8, but 4. Fuck it. So the theory now is that we don't have enough airflow at idle, and we're gonna pop the plug out for the throttle stop screw, the GM one, and see if we can just set the blades a little more open so that the idle air can do its thing. Okay, so mild update. We didn't really get anywhere. The engine was still doing some weird stuff. One thing we noticed yesterday was the intake air temperature sensor was reading way off. And then when the engine was high idling the way it was, the computer wasn't demanding the idle air to go down to try and correct the idle. So something in the program is causing this to do weird things, and my dad is looking into it. He doesn't have time for the rest of the week, so what I'm gonna do is just bolt the front end of the truck together because I've been neglecting it. There's a few other little things I need to do, like the power steering reservoir needs changed because it's leaking. And then, like I said, I'm gonna bolt everything back on the front here. So the front of Rat10 will be completely done, and all that remains is fitment to the box, which isn't happening in this video because it needs a little bit of rust repair to bolt on properly. I know that probably doesn't make a lot of sense to everyone here, but I need to be able to bolt it down. Oh God, I still have to run this whole harness back through here too. Ugh. Alright, I do need to jack it up as well, so I will put the Corvette wheels on it. Finally, keep forgetting about it. So I need to jack it up anyways to bolt some of the fender bolts in, and we'll do that at the same time. These are disgusting. Okay, this fender is basically good to bolt on. Yay! Okay, other side. And now for the wheels, which means sadly it's time for big ass wheel spacers. I'm not a huge fan of running wheel spacers, but until I either build some custom control arms or find something better to get the proper offset to fit the Corvette wheels, this is what you gotta use to make them fit. Personally, when I use wheel spacers, I start with blue Loctite. Gotta make sure the spacer actually stays centered. It's the big part. I'm gonna go throw the other side on quick. One of my big things with wheel spacers is making sure that you use lug nuts where the stud actually protrudes through the end, and then Loctite and then torque it to spec, and you should be all right. And because I have the advantage of line lock, I can push my brakes, line lock, and now I should be able to torque these things. Now I torque my wheel spacers generally higher than I do my wheels. So I usually torque my wheels to 95 foot-pounds, and as just a kind of rule, I go, you know, like 10% above that for wheel spacers just for my own sanity. So we'll put it to 110, probably a little more than 10%, but make sure they get a good snugging. Now because these are aluminum, I'm gonna have to take the wheels off and recheck them eventually. But other than that, we can bolt the wheel on and we're good to go. They do need a good wash. These things are filthy. And apparently low on air too. Whee! Now this amount of spacer doesn't give me exactly what I want. As you can see, they still sit kind of in, but it takes you from a two-wheel drive S10 offset to a four-wheel drive S10 offset, which is technically where these would sit if you bolted them on a 4x4. Oh, my brakes are still locked. Seems good to me. Oh yeah, look at that. Matching wheels. Neat. Okay, the wiring harness. If I remember how the hell it goes in here. Whee! Managed to contain most of the fluid, which I'm gonna need anyways. Here's the new, identical, but absolutely filthy power steering reservoir. We're just gonna go clean that up. Just kidding, I found out that this one's actually broken here. Whether that happened in storage at my house, I don't know, or if it was always like that, I also don't know. It is a shame. And I'm gonna go brake clean the absolute living hell out of this. You will see why briefly. I have a test I'm gonna do. Well, it sadly took off all the paint my dad put on here. I'll have to redo that. And because I don't know exactly where this thing is leaking from, I suppose I go fill it with water. But instead of doing that, I'm gonna be a savage. I think this is JB weld my dad put on here. So I'm just gonna slather it with gray silicone and hope for the best. All right, let's go put that aside to dry. In the meantime though, we can go check my lights. I don't expect the signals to work because the rear lights aren't hooked up, but we can try. It helps if the idiot who took the battery out puts it back in. That one's burnt out. No, these are both burnt out. I've got some somewhere, but that can wait. Hey, that works though. Headlights, one. Oh, there's the other one. Hey. Are you kidding me? Bruh. Hey, there we go. Oh, the horn. I was gonna test the horn. Come on, Rat10, tell me you're horny. No. Why not? Why you don't want to work? Hey! Fun fact, the bracket has to be grounded. Alright, what else can we bolt on here? Okay, since I found the bolts for it, I'm going to bolt down my line lock solenoid. I could put the wiper motor in. I was only able to find one of the bolts for my wiper motor. There's also supposed to be a ground that goes here, but I've moved that to the back of the block. See if I can find those bolts. I found those that I was staring right at in my bolt bin. Bolt this guy down for good. Okay, do we have wipers? Heyo. Now actually a really rare option for S10s is, well I say rare, I don't see it often, is non-delay wipers. You just have on slow and on fast. Now, somewhere I have the cowl that goes on top of this. Alright, I have no idea where it is. It's gonna make me mad, but whatever. I do have the original gray one for Rat10, but I'm taking the green hood I had on it when I pulled it apart off in place of its original rusty hood. So to pay homage to the green hood, I'm putting the green cowl on that I also kept for some reason. Okay, let's get the rest of the front end on here. This piece has been staring at me all night. Yeah, there's the original 2.5 fuel injection. I guess this technically could have went on after the bumper. Yeah, after the bumper is the way to go. God damn it. Ugh. Okay, now for the grill. Now, believe it or not, Rat10's grill is actually the most mint S10 grill I own. Oh, it's good to see that again. And now it's time for the hood, which I'm just gonna set on here to look at before I actually bolt it on. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, what a beautiful sight to see. I miss this hood. This is the original hood to Rat10 too, by the way. All right, now I'm really particular with the way my hoods close. I like to just be able to set it and click it with one finger. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes to align this properly to the hood latch. I don't care about body lines. As long as it goes click, that's all I want. And comes up like that too would be nice. Oh, this is my first time actually getting a look at the full engine bay too. This is sweet. Alright, what are the chances we luck out and it just closes? Pretty good. It does have to shift though. There she is. Up, down, one finger, click. Oh, it's a beautiful sight to see. And I think that's where I'm going to end this video off. We didn't really make any more progress in the tune of Rat10, but the whole front end is together, which is a big piece that I've been meaning to do. I still have to sort out some of the wiring and whatnot, clean it all up, tuck it, and then the front end is done. And then we can move to the box, fix some of the rust so that I can bolt it down, fit it up properly. And then after the box, it's just the tune. That's the last piece of Rat10 before I can take it out of the garage and drive the fucking truck. Excuse my profanity, but the tune situation is driving me nuts. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully it's coming soon. If we don't do the tune in the next video, it'll be more little stuff fitting the box and whatnot, and I guess we'll go from there. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you come back for more, and thanks for watching. And don't worry, I saw it too. It's dangling and it's making me mad. There. Better? Gotta show you this before I go in for the night. This is a little spoiler. I didn't record it all, but check out the finish. That's literally 5 minutes with Mother's Maggot aluminum polish. This stuff right here. And a shop towel.